To start and to make it short, roughly, initially I'm originally from a mixed family, so I really grew up already between Europe, France, mainly USA, Middle East, Saudi Arabia. So I was already, involved in like this intercultural, international environment. Then when I was younger, I decided to move to Africa. When I lived nearly 10 years in Africa, handling positions of agent for international company and advisor for some ministers and head of states in the country. And from there, I was also involved with exchange with Middle East. So I decided nearly 13 years ago, around 2003, 2004, to move to Saudi Arabia, where I started to work for His Highness Prince Bandar in his company Soroof, and we start from there. So being involved in all this international environment for the last 20-25 years had made me understand and get all the necessary contacts very fast between local people, local businessmen, international companies, whatever it's large conglomerate or basic SMEs. Well, to be honest, every time, I'm sure you have heard since many years about the BRICS. And every time when the people talk about the BRICS, this new economy, new markets, they talk about Brazil, Russia and all these things. But myself, I had always considered the Middle East as part of the BRICS, even if they were not talking about it, So this part of the world has always been, and especially in the last 15-20 years, completely and totally vibrant as the really cross side of all around the world. And I felt it even more when I was in Africa, because traditionally, deals, business, exchanges, commercial exchanges with Africa were done through Europe because of the history of the past, of the ex-colony and everything. And suddenly, in the mid-90s, you start to see local businessmen, banks, local African conglomerates. They were directly dealing with Middle East or Far East, whatever they were saying, and you see at the same time, airline companies like Emirates, like Gulf Air, like Ethiopian, starting to make direct lines between Middle East, between Africa. So at this time, we realized that there was a lot of exchanges possible without going through the established business. So getting into these vibrant cooperations, you start to understand that there is a real need of fast-moving exchanges. Especially, we can say, in the last 10-15 years, Middle East was in an economy of 2 to 4, 5, 6% per year growth, compared to Europe or US, which was some 1% or 0.2, 0.3 or whatever, So this has leads to understand that the market now is really needed to have fast exchanges, fast movings, fast contact, fast relation. And Middle East was at the geographical place to have these fast possibilities from Europe to Far East, where when we are in the Middle East, we are nearly at 5-6 hours for nearly any worldwide business capital around the world, and which is regrouping maybe nearly 5 or 6 or 7 billion, the 2/3 of the world. So it was very easy to understand that it needs very fast to attract foreign companies, to team up with local companies, to develop local knowledge, to use the local knowledge to implement foreign experience, all this type of mixing up. Soroof started nearly around 2000s, and it's a group directed by His Highness Prince Bandar, which wanted to start in several lines with a mainly core business in energy, including oil and gas, electricity, water treatment, and all these subcategories, defense, Prince Bandar being himself an major general from the Air Force, new technologies, and with a goal to implement these new technologies for the purpose and for the benefit of local environments, GCC, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Emirates, and whatever, but by using local skills and local development. I mean, before going into developing this part, for example, we have one part of our company which is called SMS, which is a software development, which is a software made in Saudi Arabia, patented in Saudi Arabia and developed in Saudi Arabia. It's a software which is used for e-commerce, e-government, e-implementation. So it is a real fully integrated 100% Saudi and GCC owned patent and software which use local development for the benefit of the local users. So this was the main goal. On the energy side, it was the same thing. The purpose of Soroof is to, of course, in the areas where we don't have competence and everything, to attract foreign companies, where we always sign type of agreement which are on 2 or 3 steps. The first step comes to be as a basic agent or a partner in a joint venture, but at the same time with a transfer of technology on a step-by-step to be able, after 5, 6 or 10 years, depending of the size of the project or the size of the scope, to have a full transfer of technology to be able to make it made in GCC, made in Saudi Arabia. In Bahrain, we have a branch. Soroof has a branch in Bahrain already for many years, and the advantage of Bahrain, first of all, having our head office in Al Khobar, being in Khobar and Bahrain is, let's say, more or less the same. The advantage is also that Bahrain presents sometimes more flexibilities in terms of visas, in terms of logistics and everything. So we have seen a lot of our companies and partners or whatever, when they come to Saudi Arabia, due to the regulation now of the GCC, which is UNAFID, that they say, why don't we open our branch, CR company, whatever office in Bahrain, and from there then we can work in Bahrain, we can work in Saudi Arabia, and we can do a lot of things with them. So we have in our group 1 or 2 companies that are based in Bahrain and work with us in Saudi Arabia. We are just starting few months ago to make a partnership with a financial fund from Luxembourg, which is the largest private fund of Luxembourg, that we made a full partnership for the GCC, and we decided initially, to be honest with you, they wanted to go to Dubai. As most of companies, banks, they think immediately, let's go to Dubai, let's go to the IFC and all these things. And we tell them, look, of course the IFC is a good choice, is a good opportunity also. But we told them, if you want to operate with Saudi Arabia, with Kuwait and with Bahrain, Bahrain is an excellent location and very friendly to open your offices, to get the license, to hire people, to move in and out. I mean, even in terms of business meetings, basics, logistics, Bahrain airport is the most convenient of the area. I mean, that's a fact. At any time you can go in 10 minutes to the airport, you can fly wherever you want around the world. So it's very easy, So this is what we decided, definitely.
Which is amazing.
Definitely, as well as the banking system is very well developed and the finance system is very well developed. I mean, you could compare Luxembourg to Europe, Hong Kong to Asia with Bahrain for the GCC, Very fast, very active, very vibrant, so it's a good choice, And we hope to develop, we had also one of our Canadian partner, which is in the oil and gas business, who decided to open his branch in Bahrain, to be able to operate also with Saudi Arabia, because his activity was requiring a lot of engineers and engineering resources, and locally, of course, and a lot from abroad. So he found that it was much more convenient to open his branch here, and for any meeting or anything was needed to make fly engineers from Canada, bring them to Bahrain, make association. At the same time, hiring Bahraini engineers when they have to go to Kuwait or Saudi Arabia, they don't require visas. It's more fast for them. They can go in the same day and come back. So, no, that's true. No, it's very friendly. It's very friendly and very easy to get the license and to get, I mean, purely when a company comes and wants to set up in a country, the most tough part and the most difficult, which is delaying the things, is when there is administrative barriers. You know, you want to go, you have to receive someone, you need to rent an apartment, it's complicated. You need to rent an office, it's complicated. You know, but Bahrain is very easy. I mean, when you receive a foreign company or any CEOs or whatever, within 2-3 days, he can come and at least put his base to start to work and to operate and to consolidate the company. Since for 12-13 years, I would say I share the life between Khobar and Bahrain, but I mean frequently it's on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. To be honest with you, first of all, you know, Khobar in Saudi Arabia is a very great place to see and to live. Bahrain is a very great place to live and to see. The only issue is in between, the causeway. You know, that's the only issue, which is the problem. But in fact, both cities are their advantage, pros and cons, and everything. Capital Club, I discovered the Capital Club, I think what, 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I mean, the concept itself, especially in Bahrain, is very good. You know, you meet people, you meet nice people, you have all sort of panel and range of activities of people and quality of people and behaviors and everything, which is nice, you know, which is pleasant. At the same time, the association of Capital Club with international clubs is a very, very great deal, especially because in my personal life and in my position, I have to travel a lot, at least 1 or 2 times a month. So I had used in the past the associated club of Capital Club in Singapore, in London, in Paris, in Spain last summer, in US. So this is very, very, very convenient, you know, because it's very, very convenient and efficient. Yeah, you're right, because wherever you travel, at least whatever it is to go out, you know, to have a drink or just to meet business people or participate in conference or to be introduced to local business people where you need it professionally, to open a bank account, to have an introduction for a license or whatever. You can be sure that within 24 hours you can secure any meeting, anything. So it's very, very, very convenient. You know. Look, Bahrain is very great. Capital Club, and I get to know that they have developed it a little bit more also in Dubai for a long time, in Qatar, in some African countries, in Kenya, I think, or in Nairobi, in Kenya, in Nigeria also, no? Or there's a plan for Nigeria, yeah, which is good because it's a vibrant economy there, and really this concept to develop and to spread around the world is a very good thing, you know, because it's very useful. I mean, for business community people, this is what you need, you know. Today, the exchange of information, of contact goes very fast, but at least if you can have a kind of club association where you know who is who and who you can meet and when, this is fantastic and the great things.